So, students, in this lecture, we will discuss about carrier sense multiple access, which is known as in short CSMA. This CSMA was developed to increase the performance by minimizing the chance of collision. Due to that, this was developed. The chance of collision can be reduced if a station senses the medium before trying to use it. CSMA requires that each station first listen to the medium before sending. That is, sense before transmit or listen before talk is a principle for CSMA. The possibility of collision can be reduced by CSMA, but it cannot eliminate it. The figure shown gives the reason a space and time model of a CSMA network. CSMA network. Okay, stations are connected to a shared channel which is a dedicated medium. The possibility of collision still exists because of propagation delay. When a station sends a frame, but for the first bit to reach every station still takes time and for every station to sense it. A station may sense the medium when taken in another words and find it ideal only because the first bit sent by another station has not yet been received. Then you can see this diagram. There are 4 stations: station A, station B, station C, station D. Leftmost is station A, rightmost is station D. Then station B senses the medium at time T1. So it sends a frame. At time T2, where T2 is greater than T1, station C senses the medium and finds it ideal because at this time the first bit from station B have not reached station C. So station C also sends a frame. 2 signal collides and both frames are destroyed. So you can see the area where C signal exists, which is shown by the arrow. Then you can see the area where both signals exist, area where B signal exists. So you can see all those 3 arrows showing the area where B signal exists, area where both signals exist, area where C signal exists. Next, we'll see about vulnerable time. Vulnerable time for CSMA is the propagation time Tp. Okay, so for CSMA, vulnerable time is the propagation time Tp. Time needed for a signal to propagate from one end of the medium to the other is vulnerable time. When a station sends a frame and any other station tries to send a frame during this time, result is a collision. If the first bit of the frame reaches the end of the medium, every station will already have heard the bit and will refrain from sending. The worst case has been shown in this figure. So you can see the worst case has been shown. So the station A, which is leftmost station, sends a frame at time t1. So you can see the station A will send the frame at time t1, and at time t1 plus tp reaches the rightmost station D. The vulnerable area in time and space are shown by gray area. So you can see this is a gray area which is showing the vulnerable time. So vulnerable time is equal to propagation time. This is the vulnerable time, you can see, shown by this gray area, propagation time. Okay, next we'll discuss about persistence method. If the channel is busy, the question is, if the channel is busy, what should a station should do? Then one more question is, what should a station do if the channel is ideal? There are three methods that have been devised to answer these questions. One is called one persistent method, one more non-persistent, third one is p-persistent method. Then whatever is the behavior of these three persistent methods, it is shown in the figure when a station finds a channel busy, finds its channel busy. So this is the diagram or figure that is going to show the behavior of three persistent methods. Okay, three persistent methods. One persistent. This method is simple and straightforward. After the station finds, so this is the diagram for one persistent method. Now we are discussing about one persistent method. This method is simple and straightforward. After the station finds the line idle, it sends its frame immediately, that too with probability 1 in this method. It has the highest chance of collision because two or more stations may find the line idle in this method and send their frames immediately. In this method, the Ethernet is used. The Ethernet is used in this method. Okay. Next, non-persistent. The second, you can see B figure is representing non-persistent method. So a station that has a frame to send senses the line in this method. It sends immediately if it finds the line is idle. If the line is not idle, then a random amount of time is waited and then senses the line again. The chance of collision is reduced by this non-persistent approach because it is unlikely that stations will wait the same amount of time and retry to send simultaneously. The efficiency of the network is reduced by this method because the medium remains idle when there may be stations with frames to send. Next, we will discuss about p-persistent method. So, this is the C diagram that is representing p-persistent method. This method is used if the channel has time slots with a slot duration equal to or greater than the maximum propagation time. The advantages of other two strategies are combined in this p-persistent approach. It reduces the chance of collision and improves efficiency. After the station finds the line idle, following steps are performed. So, what are the steps performed? We will now see it. So, I was discussing about this. Okay. So, I was telling about the Steps that are performed in P persistent approach when the line is idle. So you can see. The first step is with probability P, the station sends its frame. Second point is with probability Q is equal to 1 minus P, station waits for the beginning of the next time slot and checks the line again. There are two bits. A, if line is idle, it goes to step 1. B, if line is busy, it acts as though a collision has occurred and uses the back of procedure. So I'll stop here. I'll continue in next lecture the methods. You go through this, understand, read, and I'll continue in next lecture.